You can follow me on the Roku TV. I would put it up there, but we're finna watch some wrestling. But you can check it out over there on the Roku channel, DIY channel. If you go to the NBC, not NBC, NBC, you can find everything over there, and it's under the Toxic Retro Rewind. Jack Beard, what's good, man? How we doing, guys? Let's get this thing started. We are live on the Roku now, so I'm going to kick this thing off. I may have to turn the volume down a little bit. I don't know yet, but let's see what we got. Well, first we got a Prime commercial, of course. Too many commercials. I probably need to update where I don't have commercials, but I just haven't yet. New TV. Yeah, because they don't make Marty's anymore. Except for the big rubber guys did make him, and I do have that figure. Alright. Listen to this music real quick. Now, Jim Cornette has ruined this music for me, because now every time I hear it, I seem to sing the Stephen P. New jingle. He'll do the rest.
This is it. Texas Stadium.
Texas Stadium.
Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas.
Is that too loud, guys?
The world has never seen. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Lawrence for World Class Championship Wrestling. On this show, it's video time.
We'll go about right. Is that good enough? We're watching the first ever Parade of Champions at Texas Stadium. We got Chris Adams with Sunshine coming out. I don't know if y'all remember Chris Adams. There's Sunshine. So we'll see who he's fighting and going on with stuff like that. Swag, welcome in. How we doing? So let me get this thing started. I'm gonna kick off the intro, and then we'll. Oh, there's Gino. We lost him too early, man. Too early. You talking to the wrestling t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, Hot wheel riding, dragonfly flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to A Flair for Toys. Set on Cultured Heathen. It's your boy Beef. So welcome in everybody on TikTok and everybody out there in the Roku world. Rokuians or whatever y'all want to be called. Thank you for coming by, watching me. What's good, Chris Matthews? What's good, everybody? So what we're going to do, we're going to keep this in the background. Parade of Champions 1 from Texas Stadium. We're going to do some action figures. We're going to talk a little bit of WWE booking, AEW booking, how hot WWE right now is. I had a little conversation about that earlier, so I thought I'd bring it to the channel and see what y'all think. Hey, thank you for the peppers, man. We do have a goal of 100 peppers. If you can, drop it. If not, just hit the like button. It's all good. Plus, you can also go up here and get a subscription if you would like. As low as $2.99, you can help me buy action figures and bring stuff to y'all. But anyway, so, and then I'd like to start something when I start unboxing is if y'all would like to, you name a wrestler and I'm going to give you my opinion whether he was overrated, underrated, needed a bigger push, or right where he needed to be. So, if y'all are curious about my opinion on that, put them in there and I will let you know. And I'll also probably elaborate a little bit on that character if I have anything. So, my thoughts on SummerSlam. I thought it was a pretty good show. Probably one of the best SummerSlam I've seen in a minute. I didn't care for the last two matches that much. I thought it was a little too much drama and interference and the whole thing over the bracelet. I would have done it different, but we've already talked about that on the last show. I really did. I think the best match to me was Gunther Priest. I really liked that. But other than that, it was a solid card. Solid card. They needed that. I don't think they need to go to 2 dang nights like they're going to like WrestleMania next year. I think that's just ridiculous. But hey, what do I know? I just get on here and run my mouth about wrestling. So, hey, what's up, Gage? Thank you, man. Thank you for coming a subscriber, man. I see them photos, man. See, you get these cool emotes and other stuff, guys. So, if you would like to, please come aboard. Just don't like Solo, so boring. think it's the fact that he's boring. They just got him playing a role that he shouldn't play. You know, Solo shouldn't be the leader of the group. He should be the muscle of the group. But they kind of had to do that because they knew where they were bringing Jacob Fatu in. And Jacob Fatu's more the bruiser, the heater, stuff like that. Nice. I can't wait to see some videos on that. I've heard a couple issues on that, so I'm hoping you didn't have any. But I had heard some things with the cloth goods on it or whatever. But I'm hoping you didn't have no issues. But let me know if you did. Hopefully you don't. So we're gonna get started. Let's see who is Adam fighting. I don't remember. Oh, he's fighting Jimmy Garvin. Now there's somebody that was underrated. Jimmy Jam Garvin and Chris Adams were both underrated. Jimmy Garvin probably did get a little more of a push than Chris Adams did outside of here, because he got with the Freebirds and stuff like that. I think he even had a match with Flair at one point, and stuff like that. So, but Jimmy Jam Garvin was really underrated. He was a great chicken shit heel. He could work. I mean, his gimmick, he did really good. Still trying to figure out the light up mic. Alright, I got you. Well, I don't know nothing about it, so I can't help you, but good luck with that. So we will open some figures. I'm probably gonna save these till later in the show, but I do have 4 of these. Now they are the same figures, but they're different at the same time. But we got Samu and Fatu, the head shrinkers. Well, actually, this is the SST version, and this is the head shrinker version. Now, I was mistaken because I thought this gear would have been more SST gear, but it wasn't. So, all coffin matches in order. That's cool, man. I never was too big a fan of the coffin matches, but hey, you know, it was to go with The Undertaker, part of his gimmick. That and the Buried Alive matches, I don't know. I just wasn't that big a fan of, but hey, it is what it is. You like what you like. But I've been needing to get these figures open for a while, so I'm going to bust these open if you guys don't mind. Might not be the hottest figures that you wanted to see out, but we will get to some more later. But keep your questions coming. Like I said, ask me if you got any wrestlers you want to know my opinion on. Put the wrestlers' names in there. Go ahead and start doing that now. And I'm going to tell you, overrated, underrated, needed a bigger push, or right where they needed to be. So, no, Mama, I didn't hear you. What's going on? Chris Masters. I'm going to say underrated. I thought he had a good gimmick. I thought he could have had a bigger push as well. I don't know if he ever really needed a world champion spot or nothing like that, but I think he could have been pushed higher than what he was. You know, not many people can get away with doing the full Nelson and stuff like that. I mean, Billy Jack Haynes and a couple of them back in the day. But I thought he was a decent character and could have done more. Oh, hey, Mama, welcome home. You got off early. Either the computer went down or they made her mad. She said, "I'm out of here." I don't know which. But we do have the other figures in this line. I don't know exactly where I put the Paul Heyman figure. I would have brought it up here as well. But I think it's on the shelf over there. We've already opened that Hogan. Once I get them all out, I usually try to go back and rank them. Isaac Yankem, the character who played Isaac Yankem, is right where he needed to be, but that character was not going to get over. That was when, okay. His system won't let you be great. Isaac Yankem, that was a terrible gimmick, but Kane, the guy who played it, is, you know, we all know what he turned out to be, but he had a couple bad gimmicks. He was not the Unabomber, I can't remember his name. Something like that in OVW or Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I'm sorry, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Hercules Hernandez, overrated or underrated? Underrated. Hercules had a great physique, a good mind for the wrestling business. You could have at least had him as maybe like an intercontinental champion. I mean, I'm not saying for a long time, but I think he could have deserved like a 3-month run at it or something. I mean, instead of the honky tonk man having Unabomb, that's it. Thank you, Running Lights. It was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't remember. Piper was right where he needed to be. I think everybody maybe not everybody puts him on the Mount Rushmore, but he could be in that conversation. Chris Masters, I said he was underrated. I guess maybe you missed that a minute ago, Gage. Turn your Bluetooth up. Yeah, man. I mean, and Hercules was really good, and a lot of people may not have seen back when he was in Mid-South. So, who we got here now? Uh-oh. Somebody tell me who this blonde-haired guy is over here. That's Butch Reed. But who's that guy right there? That guy is underrated, too. Anybody know who that guy is? A lot of people ain't gonna know. That's a deep cut. He didn't wrestle for long, and then he came back on the indie scene a couple times. But that is Chick Donovan. I actually had his black and white photo autographed. I wish I still did it, but it was Chick Donovan. Butch Reed was a really good one. He did a lot in Mid-South too. He was teamed with Ron Simmons as Doom. So, but yeah, Chick Donovan was over, man. I mean, in the Dallas area, the fans liked it. Got this big old bamboo stick here. Let's see if we can get him out the same package. There we go. Now, my problem is I'm probably not going to be able to tell. Yeah, I can tell them apart. We know that's Rikishi over there. But this is Samu. This is the SST version. The SST version was in, oh man, G1, we are doing good. Thank you, man. Taven the Caveman, welcome in, man. Oh yeah, they made quite a few figures of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I have a few of them. I think they're going to be making more as well. Actually, I know they are. I don't know if the big rubber guy one ever came in yet. I can't remember. I got so many figures coming through the door, man. I don't know. But, man, look at this. Good looking figure. This is Samu. Part of the SST. Now, the SST was the Samoan SWAT team with Paul E. Dangerously back when Paul E. was about 200 pounds lighter and had the big old cell phone. You know, them big cell phones from the 80s. But I thought they did better over there than they did in the WWE as the head shrinkers. My thoughts on Paul Orndorff, probably have to say underrated and probably needed a bigger push. I mean, the dude was just technically sound and he was tough. I mean, he whooped Vader's butt, literally, with shower shoes on. So, you know, he was a tough boy, man. But he was really good in the ring. It's just, it was so hard for people at that time to really get over the hump because Hogan wasn't going to lose the title. It was back like in the Ruthless Aggression era and coming up after that. You know, you really wasn't getting over on John Cena, you know. So a lot of people that could have deserved pushes didn't quite get it. But I used to get freaked out when Hacksaw used to enter the ring and did his stuff. Ho! Tough guy. Now, we'll tell you a story about Hacksaw real quick. When the whole board thing came, what happened was he was getting he was getting pelted by stuff by the fans. And he was like, man, they keep throwing stuff at me, like hitting me with batteries and stuff. And they're like, man, I don't know if it was Cornette. It might have been Cornette or somebody else. Anyway, I don't remember that part of the story. But somebody told him, hey, you need to get a gimmick to carry with you to kind of shield you. So that's where he went and got the 2x4 and cut it up. And he used to have to cut it up and carry it in a case at the airport. And they'd look at him like, why are you carrying one piece of board here? You know, for the people who didn't know who he was. And he's like, oh, I'm building my house one board at a time. But, so yeah, and the whole thing actually come because he was trying to guard himself and it got past the board. And he said, oh! And that's where it all came from, guys. 10K already, man. Thank you. Y'all are freaking awesome. Let's keep this thing going. Share the live out to 5 or 10 people. Not with the red light on, but with the green lights on. And let's keep this thing going. You're talking to the wrestling, t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, high wheel riding, dragonfly flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to A Flair for Toys. Said Uncultured Heathen, it's your boy Beef, and it's Wrestling Wednesday. So somebody asked about Big John Studd. I think Big John Studd was right where he needed to be. I don't think he really needed a bigger push. You know, he was just a big guy, and Andre said, you know giant, I only giant. I can't really do Andre, but, you know, I can do a couple guys, but Andre not in my forte, unless I say, want a peanut? But, yeah, I think Studd was right where he needed to be. But, if you remember, he did win the second Royal Rumble. Just food for thought. So, Studd won the second ever Royal Rumble. Who won the first Royal Rumble? Can anybody tell me? Tugboat? I don't think I would say underrated. I think he was right where he needed to be. I think it hurt him a lot when the whole Shockmaster thing and everything came about. But as far as Typhoon, that was probably his best character. So, you know, that's what I got. I won it. You didn't win it, Taven. Nobody knows who won the first Royal Rumble? No, it wasn't Hogan. Don't be Googling, guys. Yes. Kamala right there. The Ugandan Giant. And Kabuki. Man. Cool stuff right there, man. Cool stuff. Yeah, Kamala is actually the reason that I figured out at a young age, when I finally figured out that wrestling wasn't real and was staged, you know, and outcomes predicted. We was at a small show. We were close to the back. Got tickets late, you know. And the dressing room were across from each other. And Kamala, you know, he's not supposed to speak no English, you know, from Uganda. And I looked back and I heard him tell the other locker room, hey, give me a beer. I looked at my grandpa, I said, I thought he couldn't speak no English. He said, man, it's all fake. I was heartbroken. I thought I just heard Santa Claus wasn't real, you know? So, lot of stories gonna come with a lot of this stuff. That's why I put it on, because once we get into the characters and see the characters, maybe I can bring out little other stories and stuff. Also, Gary Hart, brother. You can't talk about a man's wife like that, brother. But once we see that character, I'll tell you a little story on him too. One I was talking about is the missing link. Yeah, Santa's not real, man. I'm sorry. Wrestling's not real either. So nobody, unless I missed it, has guessed who won the first ever Royal Rumble. And the first ever Royal Rumble was only 20 people. Actually, I think the first two Rumbles were only 20 people, if I remember right. Or maybe the second one was 30. But I know the first one was only 20. But it was called the Royal Rumble. It was like a test run. No, it wasn't Flair. Flair wasn't over there then. Flair won in 92. Which to me was the greatest Royal Rumble ever. But okay, y'all give up? Put a 1 in the comments if you give up. No, it was not Macho Man. We actually just talked about him a few minutes ago. If that helps any of you. Give up. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yep, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Him, then Big John Studd, and then after that, I believe it was Hogan. And I actually think it was Hogan twice. But I can't give you every one in order, but I do remember some of them, especially the first ones, because to me, those were the best ones. We do have this little sash thing right here. Whatever, it's probably not what you call it, but hula skirt, whatever it is, I don't know. But there we go. We had that on. We got an extra set of hands. I get to running my mouth about the wrestling, almost forget about the figures sometimes. So let's get the next one out. Alright. So this is Fatu. This is Rikishi. Before he was ever Rikishi. He may have been the twins' dad by then, I'm not sure, but this is before he was ever Rikishi. So, Scoob, I know you came in late. I know you got a late work schedule a lot of times. But what we're doing, we are going to talk a little bit of booking stuff here in a minute. But what I've been having you do is just put names of wrestlers in, and I'll tell you my opinion on them, whether they were overrated, underrated, needed a bigger push, or right where they needed to be. Yeah, it's actually Jacob's dad. I think. I don't know. He got so many kids. I don't know. But they're all kin. Steve Blackman, right where he needed to be. I mean, he was a decent mid-carder. I mean, the whole... I don't know. It didn't really work for me, but he was right where he needed to be. Beefcake is underrated, man. This dude was a pretty decent wrestler. It's just the gimmicks that he was always given never really worked. But Beefcake was underrated. Shamrock deserved a bigger push. But I think they was just afraid of him keep going back to the UFC and with his temper, that's why they didn't. Because I think you could have even made a run for him at the World Champion for a little bit. Maybe a 2 to 4 month run, something like that. Ultimo Dragon, underrated. I think his size just held him down, but was really great in the ring. Kurt Hennig, I won't necessarily say underrated, but needed a bigger push. He could have been champion. I think he would have been champion somewhere maybe if two things wouldn't have happened, if he didn't hurt his back, and of course if Hogan wasn't there. I'm sorry if I missed any of your questions or characters that you asked. Best tag team ever. You know, that's up for discussion, and we'll probably do that on a different day. I don't want to get into a whole thing right now. But to me, it's probably either the Midnight Express, something, or, you know, there's a lot of good ones, but that's one of my favorites. So, but we'll get into that on another Wrestling Wednesday. I like to try to keep the same topics, same themes, and there's always so much we can do, and so many different talent out there that we can always revisit later. So, hey, Ryan, welcome in, man. Fighting Spirits, welcome in. For all you people that just showed up, please keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that share button. We hit 10K real quick, then we kind of lost steam, guys. So, let's pick it back up, see if we can't break this FYP up, and see if we can't get shout out to the masses even more. Make sure you're sharing the live to 5 or 10 people with the green lights on. Bruno Sammartino, overrated. Overrated. I mean, good for his time in the day and everything, but I still say overrated. But yeah, try hashtag FYF. Shoot that out there. See if that helps. Some people say it does. I don't know if it does, but they keep saying it, so we'll try it. But this is Rikishi Fatu, part of the SST, the Head Shrinkers, and all that good stuff. We'll put his little kilt. Well, not a kilt, but you know what I mean. I'm just messing. We got Kamala and Kabuki. Now, who thought that was going to be a good match? He over there got like a iron claw grip on his, you know what area. Shelton Benjamin, underrated. Rick Rude, underrated. But I see Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin could have been a tag team with anybody. He could have at least had a U.S. title, Intercontinental title more times than whatever he did. Just a great freak athlete. I don't know if he just couldn't really get over on the mic, or I don't know what it was. I don't know why he couldn't have got a bigger push, but I think he really deserved it. Rick Rude too, which I don't know. I won't say Rick Rude was underrated because I don't think anybody really underrated Rick Rude. I think he deserved a bigger push. I know he had the Intercontinental title, but like I said, with Hogan being there, he wasn't getting the title. He did have... Did he even have the world title in WCW? I think he just had the United States title. I know he did have the world title here in Texas for a while, but that was when his name was still spelled funny and stuff. But... the Boogeyman, right where he needed to be. Just a gimmick character. I mean, he could work and stuff, and he's a great guy. I mean, if you meet him, the dude, man, has you do all kinds of poses and just chills with you, and really great. But he's right where he needed to be. Celtics repeat, man. That's good, man. Congratulations, man. Everybody, if you're new in here, please, if you're not following me, please hit the follow button. Follow these other great creators. And everybody out there on Roku, thank y'all for watching us. We're just got a little wrestling in the background. We're talking old school wrestling. We're showing action figures. So if you like wrestling, you should like this. If not, see you next time. We do something else. We do Marvel. We do DC. We do Masters of the Universe. We do all kinds of stuff like that. Mark Henry, underrated. Mark Henry should have had the title way before he ever did. He should have went on a longer run. He pretty much had to say he was retiring, then got a new contract, and then got the title. Awesome guy. Met him in person. He's so funny, so nice. I mean, I'd hate to get him mad, but when he's not mad, he's just like a big old teddy bear. Jack Swagger, overrated. And that should have been shown in AEW because he has done nothing over there. But who really has? But, so I don't know if you can use that as a comparison. But, overrated. Decent MMA guy. Terrible at wrestling. The great colleague. Right where he needed to be. Actually, he probably shouldn't even had it. Didn't they give him the title like once or twice just because he was so big or whatever? But They always try to do this with these giants that can't hardly work. I mean, I guess he was better than Elegante or Giant Gonzalez. Now, we are getting a new Build-A-Figure Great Khali, and I will get that because I don't have a Great Khali. I don't know that I really need a Great Khali, but I will. The Sandman, right where he needed to be. He was not a wrestler at all, but his gimmick was great. Everybody loved him coming to the ring, beating on himself and all that good stuff. Hey, Sailor Man, thank you for the corn. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris Matthews, for the peppers. Kurt Angle was best. Was beast even in TNA. Yes, he was. I think, to me, I'm going to say either half and half. Kurt Angle was either underrated a little bit and definitely needed a bigger push. He should have been champion more time than he was, and I think if he wouldn't have had the issues with the, you know what I'm talking about, the pain meds and stuff, you just got to watch what you say on here. But if he wouldn't have done that and wouldn't have went to TNA, I think he would have been held in higher regard. Bam Bam Bigelow, I think he might have deserved a bigger push, but I think there was just something about him not showing up or something. I'm not sure what it was. Or maybe he was still doing the bounty hunter thing. I'm not sure. But he was supposed to get a push when they thought Hogan was going to go out for a little bit. That's why he had that big push at that Survivor Series. He didn't win, of course, but he was like the last one on the team left in there. I think he could have had a bigger career, but I don't know what really held him back. I'm not sure. JYD is another hard one to rank because if you just go off of what he did in the WWE, he's overrated. But if you watch his stuff back in Mid-South, man, the dude was so over, man. Man, his pop was as loud as the Road Warrior pops back in the day. So, a lot of people don't know that, not seen that. The feud he had with like the Freebirds when they like blinded him and stuff, man, with the Freebird cream. I don't think I would say R-Truth is really underrated. I think he's underused because he can do anything. I mean, the dude can be comedic, he can rap, he can wrestle. Now, he's not a great mat technician, but he can make an exciting match with anybody. And the dude's just funny, man. The dude is comedy gold, man. If you're not laughing when R-Truth is doing stuff, then you don't know what humor is. You're just a miserable human being. I'm just saying, because that dude is funny. Virgil was right where he needed to be. Virgil wasn't ever really meant to be a wrestler. He was just meant to have that bodyguard gimmick, and then they decided to let him try it, and we see how that went. The Hurricane is underrated. Sugar Shane Helms is really great in the ring. He's very athletic. He's just so small. If you take him in that era and put him in the AEW right now, he's AEW World Champion, man, hands down. Kevin Owens, in my eyes, overrated. I mean, he's good, but he can get over, but he can't stay over. He just wants to do too much and not listen to other people. Now, he has gotten better. But I was all on him when he came in and beat Cena and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. But then the more I kept watching, I was like, okay. Maybe he doesn't really have it all there. Now maybe like for a smaller promotion like a TNA or something maybe. But that's just my thoughts, guys. I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong because it's my opinion. But here is the SST. Samu and Fatu, tell me what you think. You'd pick these guys up, wouldn't pick them up. I mean, you can put them in the bloodline, stuff like that. Now, we are going to open up the double figures of these, which is exactly the same figure, just a different paint jobs. Hey, welcome in, man. How you doing? You must have been napping or eating or hunting. You never know. But for everybody new in here, if you're not following me, please hit that follow button. I will get to Triple H in just a second. What we're doing is we're having people call out wrestlers' names, and I'm telling you my opinion, whether I thought they were overrated, underrated, needed a bigger push, or right where they needed to be. So, excuse me. Triple H, I'm going to say in a way, he's underrated because I think a lot of people don't rank him high enough because of how he got to where he was. But in the other way, I think he's right where he needed to be because, I mean, look at all he did. I mean, but Triple H is really good, man. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. I mean, he could book. He can do it all, man. He can do it all. So, people who shun him for getting what he got, how he got, I mean, you know, nobody really looks at Shawn Michaels like that when he used to get his way on everything. Shawn Michaels, in my eyes, is a little overrated, but he was great. If he wasn't such a douche and dickhead back in the day, I would put him up there higher. But hey, everybody's got their moments, and we all grow, you know. So I think he's finally figured it out now, but, you know, he held a lot of people back with the influence he had. Well, just like Hogan did with people. Edge, I'm going to say Edge is overrated, guys. I know some of y'all ain't going to like that, but that's just the way I feel. I never really got into Edge. A little bit of the rated R superstar I could kind of dig. But other than that, I've never been a big fan of Edge. Hey, I am good, Sound Blaster. Thanks for asking, man. Evan Bourne, right where he needed to be. Too small. Don't really care. No offense. Don't even really remember Evan Bourne until somebody brings his name up. But, not to be mean, if that's your favorite. I mean, but what's up, action figure guy? Christian, I think Christian is underrated. Christian was doing the best work as a heel in AEW there for a while until they had him messing with all these like Buff Bagwell scenarios with Judy Bagwell on a pole and stuff like that. Oh man. But yeah, Christian is underrated. I think Christian I don't know if he should have really got a bigger push, but I still say he's underrated. I think he definitely should have been world champion over in AEW. I mean, good Lord. Who couldn't be champion over there? Otis. I'm probably going to say Otis is right where he needs to be. I think there's something you could do with Otis. But this old funny gimmick thing, I mean, make him a monster. I mean, but you can't really like try to make him a monster heel now because you got Bronson Reed there. But I think you could have done something like have him somebody's enforcer or something like that. You could have really done something. But I liked him better when he was in his old tag team as Heavy Machinery. Who's on the TV? Oh, man. We ain't going to talk about that guy. That guy. Woo, that guy, if he's still here, he's doing prison time. That's Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff, and I think one of the Spoilers or something, or Super Destroyers, I can't remember. But yeah, that guy did some bad stuff. Where was we at? RVD. I think RVD is underrated. I think he could have deserved a bigger push, but I don't think he could quit, 420ing it up. I think that was his deal. I may keep those sashes off of these to make them look different. What do y'all think? I just wish they could hold this. Actually, does that come apart? Oh, it does break apart. Okay, so you can break the bamboo over somebody right there. That's cool. But thank you guys, man. Thank everybody for being here. Roku, thank you. TikTok, everybody. Make sure you're liking the live, sharing the live, and make sure you share it with the ones with the green light on. Put hashtag FYF in there every now and then. Shoot it out. Hit the minute. Hit the like button for about a minute real quick for me, everybody. Let's see if we can't get this juiced up and out there to everybody. Superfly Snuka. To me, he was overrated. And then what all he did too. So, You know, even though he wasn't never, I guess, really charged with it, but yeah, he not that good of a dude from what I heard. But I don't know. I never really met the man. But put a 1 in the comments if you think I should leave these like this. That way it gives them a little different look. Cause I think if I put these on here, then it's basically the same figure, so at least it gives them a different look. Alright, appreciate it. So, we're going to do that. And that was Rikishi Fatu. Now we're going to get the next Samu, and then we're going to move on. But this is Parade of Champions 1 from Texas Stadium back in the day. So, Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold right where he needed to be. I mean, how else could you say? I mean, if somebody tells me he's overrated, I'd like to see their argument as to how. I mean, for one, this dude put in his dues. He started right over here in Texas. He started in the USWA. Well, it may have still been WCCW then, but I think it was already USWA, and then the GWF, and then WCW, ECW, back up to the WWE. I mean, he earned it. He earned it. I mean, he shouldn't have got mad and took his ball and went home that one time in the WWE, but I mean, I kind of get it. You know, what was the real point of losing to Brock Lesnar at that time? There was no build-up to it. But, you know, it is what it is. We're past all that. But, you know. William Regal. I think William Regal's right where he needed to be. Regal was never going to be nothing more than maybe a European champion, TV champion. But I think it worked as like a TV champion because he had somebody who could wrestle really well and could put on a good match and could do whatever he needed to either get the person over. Well, he couldn't get Goldberg over because Goldberg couldn't wrestle. But Goldberg was over with the, you know, them kind of fans that like them kind of things. But, you know, Eddie Guerrero. This is a tough one. I want to say underrated because like Austin, he paid his dues too, but we don't know what could have happened. So I'm going to probably say right where he needed to be because we didn't get to see what could have been or what would have happened. So I'm going to leave it at that, right where he needed to be. Y'all might not agree with me, but that's fine. But once I finish this figure, I think we're going to get off of that. We're going to start talking about a little bit of how hot WWE is right now. And then a little bit of how bad we won't say bad. We'll say low. We don't want to hurt their feelings because the AEW crowd is really sensitive. So I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I really wish they could get it together. I wish they could get a great booker. I heard them talking to Shane McMahon. If they would give Shane McMahon the booking power, maybe it might do something. But Tony Khan as a booker is not getting the job done. This is not you being me in your basement playing with action figures, Tony Khan. This is a professional wrestling show, bro. Get it together. Quit thinking you're Booker of the Year because some other dude in his basement said you was because you're on his payroll. But anyway, we won't get into all that. But I really wanted to bring this topic up to talk more about the WWE side than the AEW side. But I will get into a little bit of that. My thing is I was having a conversation today. And get y'all's opinion on it. I'm going to put a 1 in the comments if you agree with me. But how hot WWE really is right now. I mean, they're pretty much cooking over there, guys. So do y'all agree that WWE is pretty hot right now? Since Vince has left, Triple H has got the book. I mean, you got the bloodline stuff. You got Gunther with the title. Now you got Randy Orton maybe going after Gunther. And we won't count the Wyatt Six and that crap. Other than that, they're really hitting on all cylinders, you know? And so I was telling him, I was like, yeah. And he goes, man, I don't think they could get no hotter. And I said, well, yeah, they can. And he's like, how? I was like, well, all right, we got the little puzzle coming up, guys. Give me just a second. So I was like, well, here's the reason why. Yeah, and the Rhea Judgment Day stuff is pretty good, too. It's actually making Judgment Day a little better because I thought that group was watered down sauce anyway. But I do like Priest and Ripley. And Dom. I don't really care for the rest of them. But anyway, I told him, yeah, it can get better. And he's like, how you figure? I said, well, one, they're going to be going to Netflix. So all this downtime that you see on the television show, bro, where there's like you hear the stuff mute out, they're not gonna have to worry about that. They're not gonna have to worry about muting stuff because people in the fans are saying the A word and the F word and all this other stuff. So that's one. They could probably be a little more turned up, a little more violent, stuff like that. I don't think it'll ever get back to the Attitude Era with all the, bra and panty matches and stuff like that. But, and I don't think we really need that either. Vince and them's gone. But you doing all this with no Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm not saying Brock comes back, but, man, CM Punk is hardly wrestled because he's been injured. Seth Rollins hasn't really done much because he's been fighting the injuries and, being a referee and all this other stuff. 5 restricted. Shocking and graphic content. What the heck? That's ridiculous. There's nothing shocking and graphic. It's wrestling, bro. But that's TikTok for you. Hey, Howie. Plus, Roman just got back. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's Bad Street USA. Michael P.S. Hayes. Run the other way. Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. Anyway, if y'all ain't never saw that, check it out. That took me back for a minute, guys. But get back to what I was saying. Plus, The Rock's not even there. And you can still have The Rock coming back. So they can get hotter. A little tweak of the booking and stuff, man, WWE could be on fire. So I think they've got a lot of room still to grow. I mean, I think they need to work on a few more newer guys coming up. Oh, my bad, guys. We are at 20K. I will hit the intro for you guys. You're talking to the wrestling t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, high wheel riding, dragonfly flying son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to A Flair for Toys. Set on Cultured Heathen. It's your boy B. Yeah, I think he is. And I think all the people they got are doing the right things right now. I mean, their production looks good. They still do a little hokey stuff that they could get away with. But hey, just think of what they're giving you, and the crowd is going crazy for, and they're really not even giving you much. So, hey, Crazy, welcome in, man. Crazy. Who's that right there? Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. The whole USA. Oh, man. That's no good, Howie. If I was you, I'd have to move, man. Yes, sir. Michael Hayes. P.S. Hayes. Purely sexy. Or as DiBiase called him, pretty sissy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what Vince had going on at the end there. I mean, everything that happened and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it is or not, but anyway, what we're doing right here is the Dingo Warrior. It says the Ultimate Warrior on the package, and you can change him into the Ultimate Warrior. But with this head sculpt, this is when he was right here in WCCW as the Dingo Warrior. So, we'll check him out. No, I think Val Venus is right where he needed to be. I mean, maybe if he had a different gimmick, maybe it could have went somewhere else. But, no. Gotta cover up those commercials. Before we get flagged. But, there's the Ultimate Warrior head. I think Val Venus right where he needed to be. You know, he wasn't going to get too far with a porno star gimmick, you know. But The Godfather. I'm going to have to say right where he needed to be. But I give him credit for doing all the different gimmicks that he did, and he did make the best out of all of them. I don't think any of them really took off except the Godfather gimmick. But, once again, you tapped into really who he was. I mean, he worked at a strip club. So, you know. But that's the Dingo Warrior, man. Pretty cool. Hey, welcome in. Thank you. If you're new in here, please hit that like button, hit the follow button, and share the live out. Let's get this thing pumping. It is Wrestling Wednesday. We are going to keep rolling. Warrior versus Hogan. All time. You know, and actually for two of them that are really not the best wrestlers in the ring, it was a really good match. I think besides Rock versus Hogan, Hogan versus Warrior is probably his best match, except for maybe the match against Perfect. That was on like Saturday night's main event or something like that. But it was a really good match. And I never was a Hogan fan. I do respect him for what he accomplished and everything, but not the other crap he does. And the man's full of crap. He couldn't tell the truth to save his life. But, you know, Mankind, a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think Mankind is right where he needed to be. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's underrated. I mean, could you have gave him a bigger push here or there? Maybe a little bit. But I think for the most part, right on the money. No, I'm not a huge Hogan fan either, but his action figures are pretty good, and I do understand what he did to the business or for the business for a while. You know, Hogan's something else, man. If y'all don't know the story, which you may hear the stories more coming out since Jesse Ventura is now welcome back to the WWE. Please hit them like button, guys. When we hit 20K and we kind of just fizzled out, so don't quit hitting that like button, man. Macho Man, I agree. Macho Man was better than Hogan. But just for what Hogan drew and money-wise and stuff like that, I have to put him up there. But anyway, Jesse Ventura was trying to get wrestling to be a union. And Hogan went and leaked it and got Ventura gone after that. So, Hogan wanted all that money for himself. He didn't want to be a union. He knew he was going to get more than everybody else. So, there's the Bon Eric boys. We got a tag team match, player. The Dingo Warrior. But I like this because it's a throwback. I like that they do the different variations of the characters and stuff. I thought it was really cool that we got the fake Diesel. I never thought we would get a fake Diesel figure. So that is really cool to have. Now we need fake Razor. But instead of them giving us fake Razor, they gave us a regular WWE Razor Ramon in the Monday Night Wars, and I don't think that actually fit right there. But hey, I don't make the figures. I don't make the lines. I just buy them. So, that was... Gotcha. And if y'all do not know, which I don't know if y'all know the character, but the Great Muta is getting a figure. I've seen some renders just in shadow gray, and they're trying to make it where he like spits a mist out. I think there's either going to be 2 versions of it or something like that. The Briscoe brothers, I heard somebody saying there may be an issue with them. I hope not, because I just ordered them. But once we order them, we will get them. If there is no issue, I'm going to order another one if they haven't sold out yet. I think they're only limited to like 1,000 or 2,000. So I do want to get that. Yeah, I mean, we had a Tajiri in the Jakks Classic Superstars, but I'd be fine if... I mean, I don't know if you could actually consider him a legend, but, I mean, they put other people in the Legends line. I don't really consider Warlord a legend either. So, I think you could get away with putting a Tajiri in a Legends line or sneak him in one of the other lines in there. Demolition figures. Yes, they are. And unless... Now... Here's the thing. I said Jesse Ventura just came back, right? To the WWE, was welcome back. Now maybe is Demolition going to be welcome back? And will they make the Hall of Fame this next year at WrestleMania? We can only hope. So then maybe we can get more Demolition figures. But the last Demolition figures I got were like the old LJN style. They're from the Major Pod Bros. But they do look really good, but I'd rather have an elite form of them. But we do need more Demolition figures. So, we got 2 more figures that we're going to open. We got about another 30 minutes we're going to ride. I will touch on a little bit of AEW, but not too much. And then we'll get back into the other stuff. Seems more fun. But just a few things I wanted to say. How hot WWE is. How cold AEW is. At least to me. Some people still enjoy it, and that's fine. But even the diehards got to admit, Tony Khan's booking sucks. and that's about all I can say about it. Are they expensive because... Well, it's just because nobody's really making it anymore. Unless one of these little companies, Mattel's not going to make them because WWE doesn't have the license. So, now, once Mattel gets the license and they see people are paying $200-300 for Demolition, you know what they're going to do? Demolition. I mean, they do it with Hasbro. They do it with everybody. Like they did with that Blob. Hasbro seen that Blob figure going for $250 to build a figure. They said, let's put this out as a $40-50 figure, and we'll get all that money. So, that's what these toy companies do. But I mean, I can't blame them. That's good business sense. I don't blame them. I ain't saying I wouldn't do the same thing. But AEW, for one, they don't have a lot of talent. The talent they do have, or did have, they usually run off. They push the wrong talent. They wait too long to give a talent a push. And man, it just, I don't get it. I think, I mean, it all stems back to me that Tony Khan had no business being a booker. Just because you had two people that used to watch you like y'all do me on the internet did not make you a wrestling booker, bro. You had your own little fig fed, and you thought you could take that to the big leagues. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't make that many of them. But I don't think they thought it was going to do well. And at that time, he was still alive. So that's probably some of it, too. But, yeah, man, the whole thing, which I may be behind, I don't know if it already happened, but Daniel Bryan been over there 3 years. They could have put the belt on him a long time ago. I don't know why they didn't. Now they're trying to make it where he like either has to win the belt or he'll never wrestle again, but we all know he's retired anyway, and blah, blah, blah. They did the same crap with Sting. Sting retired as a champion. Da-da-da-da-da. Golly, you could have made us enjoy AEW if you just had better booker and the right people in charge. But anyway, enough of negativity. We're going to get over AEW. My thoughts on Andre the Giant. I think he should have at least been champion. But I think the reason they never made him champion is because once you gave it to him, if he didn't want to drop it, he wasn't going to drop it. So how were you going to get the belt off of him? So to me, in my eyes, that's what I think. I don't know that for sure, so I'm not quoting that. But yeah, you wasn't going to get Andre to do anything he didn't want to do. You know? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the LJN, yeah. I actually don't have it. Retro Man has it. Actually, guys, if y'all don't know who Retro Man is, make sure you're following him on the Roku TV DIY channel, the Toxic Retro Rewind. And me and him are going to co-host. He is going to come on with me next week on Wrestling Wednesday. He's going to bring stuff out, and he will be bringing that old school Miss Elizabeth with him. He's going to have some wrestling going on his end. I'll have some on my end. So come by and hang out with us and check that out. Yeah. I want a peanut. But I mean, I really think that was, yeah, he wasn't the best promo. I mean, you know, he's Andre. We're going to, okay, boss. But, yeah, y'all check that out. And also, Taven the Caveman is on the Roku channel. Check him out on the DIY and the Toxic Retro Rewind and here on TikTok. And I think Facebook as well. Or not Facebook. YouTube. Taven the Caveman or Cave Art Adventures. Go check him out. He was in the house. I don't know if he's still here. He might have left. But y'all go check him out. If you ain't never seen him before, tell him Drost Beef sent you. And see what all. He's a great creator. Does great artwork, great dioramas, and all that kind of stuff. He does all the stuff I can't do, so I just buy it from him so it looks like I have it. But I'm only good at running my mouth, guys. These other guys are the creative people out there. Like y'all saw Ben's Custom Figures 1 on the show last night. Really creative guy. I hope y'all did go check him out. I think a lot of people have been talking to him about commissioning some work and stuff. Well, for trades. But anyway, so now y'all just going to probably push me back a little bit, but that's fine. Thank y'all for that. Harley Race. I'm going to say right where he needs to be. I mean, he may not get enough respect from the younger generation because they don't really know how he was, but he was really good at what he did and one tough SOB, you know, so. But yeah, man, let's just keep running like that. I think that is going better. We don't want to get talking about negative AEW and stuff. I have opened this figure before, but I think I'm going to open it and I'm going to leave it open. Now, I do have the Diamond Select version that is signed by his brother Kevin that is up there. So I will leave that in box. Creator Soul, what's good, man? Appreciate you. I have the only slick wrestling figure I have is, that's what I was going to do tonight. Okay, I'll do that next week. I was going to open up the new Zombie Sailor figures that I have, and actually Slick is one of them, like the old school Hasbro. But, yeah. Hey, what's good, L36? Bret Hart. I probably have to say Bret Hart is right where he needed to be. I think he could have done more if Goldberg wouldn't have messed him up and Shawn Michaels wouldn't have been such a prick. So I think he could have done more. But from what we got to see of him and all things that were in place around him, I think he's right where he needs to be. Even though he is in my top 5, probably maybe even my top 2. So, yeah. But yeah, I just met Kevin Von Erich not too long ago. Got him to sign this. I gave the man gave me a big old hug. And I just told him, I said, look, man, you're one of the strongest people I think I ever known, because I don't think a lot of people could go through everything that he went through and still be here and being as positive as he is. So, you know, whenever we're having down days and, you know, feeling about something, just think of what some other people have gone through and just realize that, you know, life ain't that tough. You know what I mean? Because, man, and just imagine, you know, I'm sure most people know all the story, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to bring that up. That's a lot of tragedy that was involved. But, I mean, the guy ended up losing all his brothers. I mean, yeah, I watched it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was too much of a Lifetime movie. He left out a brother and all this other junk that I'm not going to get into right now. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, Shadow Resin got this for me, and then he engraved it, a Flair for Toys on it. So, if y'all not following him, please go follow him, Shadow Resin. Check him out. So, let's get this carry going. But yeah, I mean, I don't even want to imagine having to go through that much tragedy that he did. But, you know, it happens. It's life. And I'm not saying his is the worst. I mean, there's people that have had, oh, heck, flares on there. I better cut it off or I'm going to get flagged because, you know, he about to start bleeding here in a minute. Rico? Oh, underrated as as a wrestler, but overrated as the gimmick. But the dude, Rico Constantine, actually was a decent wrestler. But the whole gimmick thing didn't work for me, brother. That don't work for me, brother. Brother. But the only thing I don't like is with this jacket on, you can't really move the arms up or anything. And to get this jacket off, oh man, it is a chore. But hopefully the second versions will be better. This is Powertown. Powertown is a new company by Vern Gagne, and I can't remember the other guy, but Greg Gagne. I'm sorry, Vern Gagne been gone. Greg Gagne, Vern Gagne's son, who used to run the AWA. No, it's a rubbery jacket, man. I wish it was soft goods. But look at the back of it. Von Erich country. The only thing, I think the hands are a little small on these figures. I do want to bring it over here and pose it with one of these. I don't like that they made it almost like a McFarlane, so you can't really display it too well with the other figures. I wish they would have made it right at 6 inch. That is one of their faults. Now, granted, this is a great idea. Yeah, there he is right there. That's why I brought this out. I knew he was going to be on here. This should be the David Von Erich Memorial, the Parade of Champions 1. So I'm not going to give you the outcome, but, you know, this was a good day, man. This was a really good day. But this is a great idea. These knee pads did not come on the figure. They came inside the box. And this is a great idea. I think all the figures should do this, so you can have knee pads, not knee pads if you wanted. But why did you pick a set that has Kerry Von Erich? And to take the knee pads off, you pop off the foot. Now, come on, man. Somebody can't tell me that they weren't ribbing somebody with this. Really? A Kerry Von Erich figure, and this is the first line of figures that pop off like that? Somebody knew what they was doing. They wrong for that, man. They wrong for that. I'm telling you. You can't tell me they did not know. This will be a great idea. Oh, and Kerry Von Erich's going to be in that set. Now, if it had been the second set, okay, whatever. Come on, man. I'm calling you out, Power Town. Power Town. But, I mean, I do like that they pop on and off like that, but a decent figure. I mean, I think they got Kerry's face sculpt down. I mean, I think it's a really good face sculpt. I like the jacket. It's just, that jacket is so hard to come off. I probably won't take it off. I don't know. I'm going to say McIntyre right where he needs to be right now. McIntyre is getting better and better. But I think why he's getting better is the people that they've got him working with. And the fact that Vince ain't there, having him be in Camelot and chopping ropes with the swords and sword and the stone and all that junk. Papa Shango. Papa Shango's the same as the Godfather, just a different character. That was basically Boogeyman before the Boogeyman. Didn't really get it. But I respect Charles Wright for all the different gimmicks and stuff that he did. So that's Kerry Von Erich. And he's right there. Man, I'm just telling you, a lot of y'all do not realize this, because if you're not from the Texas area, I mean, you may know about the Von Erichs, but, man, the Von Erichs were like rock stars. They were like the Beatles to us in Texas. They even had to shut down a Six Flags one time just because those brothers showed up, and everybody just mobbed them. The $1 Million Man is underrated. He should have deserved the title. The $1 Million Man's best work is not as the $1 Million Man. It's as Ted DiBiase. If you go back and watch the Mid-South and some of that stuff, you will understand. But he played that character great. He should have had the title. That's about all I can say about that. Right now, guys, I don't know if I showed you. I just grabbed and started going. This will be the last figure of the night. But we are going to do Bruiser Brody, guys. This is from the same Power Town line. I think I'm ready to leave him out the box now. So we're going to check him out. See what it's all about. I do like these old school belts. I really hate that they didn't give Kerry a belt. I don't know why he couldn't have came with the NWA title right there. But come on, guys. Let's hit this 30K, man. We've been on here over an hour, man. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's grow. Make sure you're following me. If you're new in here, please hit that follow button and follow everybody else in here. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get this thing going. We lost Bruiser Brody way too early as well. Really sad. If y'all have never watched it, the tragedy of World Class Championship Wrestling, and I've watched this thing 2 or 3 times. I don't know why I put myself through this, but it's really sad to go back and watch how many people are not with us anymore that are from this era. I mean, it's just, man, you know, there's no Kamala. There's none of the Von Erichs except Kevin. Gino's gone. Chris is gone now. Who else? Rick Rude is gone. Iceman is still with us. I don't know if y'all remember Iceman King Parsons. But the ones that were in this line is Vern Gagne, Lou Thez, Stan Hansen, Magnum TA, Kerry Von Erich, and Bruiser Brody. Now, I did buy this whole set. I did buy all the second set. The second set, I doubt if I can remember who all they are. I know it's Dory Funk Jr. There's another old guy that I can't remember. Wahoo McDaniel, which that figure looks amazing. Medusa Michelli, which was a Lunder Blaze. Kamala, and I think the JYD. I can't remember who the other old guy is. But I like that they're making deeper cuts. I like the deeper cut guys. Hey, Massimiliano. Thank you, my man, for picking up everybody. Everybody else, please do the same. If you want to make it easy, just go up here and click the little box where it shows everybody in there. There's 18 people in there. Scroll down the list. If you don't know if you got them, click on it. If it comes up red and says follow, hit that follow button, guys. Let's go. Let's grow. So, thank everybody for showing up, man, and hanging out with me, man. We've had a good time. We're going to run through this, and then we're going to close the show. Thank all you on Roku. I appreciate y'all very much. If y'all are not watching me on Roku, please go check that out. We're on the Roku Monday through Wednesday, 7 to 8. Sometimes we go over right now because nobody else is on after me at the moment. So I take advantage of it and go a little longer because I get a little long-winded, especially on Wrestling Wednesdays. Now on Tuesdays I do the interviews, and I try to keep those to right at an hour because I want to keep the same format for everybody. Wait a minute, what am I doing? Hell, I just talking about Kerry not having a title. I had it sitting right there the whole time. Thank you, Gage. I appreciate it. I'm talking all that crap. There's the belt right there. Man, I'm blind. Nice. Speaking of Warhammer, Taven, if you're still in here, did you ever paint that Warhammer figure that I sent you? If you did, I never got to see it, boss. I would like to see that on a video or something if you don't mind. Or maybe that can be a project if you have time. I don't know if you ever did or not. But man, we got a vest, we got a chain, we got a board. Oh, boy, they're stiff. See, I just look at the hands. See how little the hands are? How you make this a 7-inch figure, but then little hands? I'm telling you, I think they had help from McFarlane. But the legs feel more like rubbery. Look, leg just fell off. Hopefully that's not an issue. But I wish these boots would have been fur. We got side to side. There's the ab crunch. Now, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the, like, blood on the head. Hey, Cap Jack, what's good? I think they could have done that a little better. But, I mean, overall, it looks like Brody. Let's see if we can get him to stand up. He stands up. I like everything that this comes with. I just wish the hands were bigger. And yes, I think so. But let's see if we can get the vest on. But like I said, this was their first attempt ever at action figures. They've never done action figures before. So, I mean, for being like that, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like Jax and Mattel didn't have their issues when they first started. So, there's Flair, dirtiest player in the game. I just wish I could see better to see what belt this is. But I love that. Now, I did hear that some people were buying these when they first came out, and they were just selling the belts out of them and keeping the figures and selling the belts for almost what they paid for the figures. And I don't like the price point at $50-$55. I think that's a little much. But he can hold the piece of wood somewhat. But I do like that he has the little chop hand because he was always chopping them. So, decent figure. A little loose for me, but it does look like Brody. We will work with this figure, see what we can do. But not bad. Like I said, their first ever figures. Hey, thank you for the follow, man. If anybody else is new in here, please hit that follow button. Follow me and follow everybody else in here. And 30K, you're talking to the wrestling, t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, high wheel riding, dragonfly flying son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to O Flair for Toys. Set Uncultured Heathen. It's your boy Beef. But man, I really thank everybody for showing up. We got about 9 minutes, so if y'all got any questions, anything else y'all like me to do, like I say, except for next week, me and Retro Man are coming on here, and we're going to do a double wrestling Wednesday, split screens. He'll have wrestling on, I'll have wrestling on. He'll bring wrestling figures. You know I got wrestling figures. But other than that, if there's certain figures that you think you would like to see, just hit me up, or topics. We can talk about topics. I've got plenty more figures that I can dig at that I don't have up here. So if there's something y'all want to talk about, like if y'all want to do, not next week because we got retro, so I don't know if we'll do that. But if we don't do it next week, the week after we'll do tag team. Somebody brought that up. We can go over that and get a good topic going. I'll run over quick. We just did Bruiser Brody. Yeah, they were just a little beefier, a little thicker, heavier, but they did a decent job. I'm hoping Mattel doesn't lose the license, but we did Bruiser Brody. We did Kerry Von Erich, who just won the NWA title from Ric Flair. The only reason he got that title was because David passed. Now, I've heard different rumors throughout the years. It was supposed to be David was going to get it, but then some people said, no, they don't really think they were going to put it on David that early. But since all the work that Texas and the Von Erichs had done with him in his memorial for David passing, that they did give it to Kerry. Now, they did not keep it on him long. I don't think he kept it even like maybe 3 weeks. And they took it back off of him because we all know Kerry's state wasn't the best. There were times that Ric Flair had to wrestle Kerry for an hour, and they had to go wake him up in the barn and get him coherent to get in the ring. But, you know, I've also heard some stuff, and it probably is, you know, losing somebody like that, losing David, I think, really hurt Kerry a lot. So I think that might have been some of it. But that's just my speculation. I don't know for sure. You know, I wasn't that close to him. You know. But we got the head shrinkers. We did those. And then we did the SST. Because these were in the same line. They were the chase figures. But really cool idea. If I'd have thought about it, I would have found the Paul Heyman, so we could have went with it. But I'll maybe get it next time. And then we did the Dingo Warrior. So there he is. Look, that's how Kerry won. You know, you don't see that no more, do you? A backslide. Yeah, in AWA form they did, and they just made Vern Gagne. I actually have Vern Gagne. They made Vern Gagne in Power Town in the first series. But yeah, Nick Bockwinkel was an old AWA figure. I used to have some, and they had, I don't know if they ever had Vern Gagne in that one. They had Greg Gagne. And they had Jim Brunzell, they had the Freebirds, I actually had some of them when I was a kid. I had the Long Riders, the Fabulous ones, and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, we got 5 minutes. We're about to wrap this up. But keep hitting that like button. Let's see if we can hit 35K. I think 35K likes in an hour and a half is not too shabby if you don't ask me, which you probably wasn't anyway. But anybody, if you're still new in here, please hit that follow button. Hit that like button. Everybody go up in there and make sure you're following everybody that's in here. And keep in touch. Try to watch their stuff when you can. Because the FYP and the FYF is not kicking everybody's stuff out. So do what you can to try to help each other. No, I did not get the latest Sting figure. I don't know if I will or not. I've got a few Stings. I don't know if I really need them anymore. But you never know. Right time, right place, right price. Never know. But I don't know what the rest of the week holds, guys. I do like to come live quite a bit because we are on this push to 10,000, but we are on our way to 75 first. I think we're sitting at about 6,800 right now, or close to it. Hopefully we can hit that mark. But once we get to 75, I will be doing a giveaway. So let's just keep pushing strong, guys, and keep this thing going. Please check out my link tree. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Roku TV, and anywhere else I may pop up. But check that out. Y'all know the deal. I'm not putting as many videos out because I don't have room on my phone. So that's why I am going live a lot more, for one of the reasons. Next week on the Toy House, we have LT House of Geekery coming up. The next week after that, we have World at War Comics. And then after that, we have Jordan Gasly. I do have a fairly new newcomer. If he gets up enough followers, we may be bringing him on pretty soon. Just ran into him. I really like his content. I told him if I don't forget, I will be putting him on the Follow Friday. So y'all make sure to check out for that. I always like to find new people and get new people out there and get them built up. Let's build this community. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. It's about everybody. So please do your best to do the best you can. I understand we're all busy. We got lives, all that good stuff. But just turn your notifications on. Check it out. And when I'm on, stop by, because you never know what we're doing. But like I said, if you got suggestions, hit me a message. Hit me in a comment, one of my videos, whatever. Hey, Beef, could you maybe do this on a live? Or send me a message. Hey, do you have this figure? Could you do a video of this? Now, I can't do really long videos right now, but I'll try to do. I need to get some more of my verses going, stuff like that. Yeah, man, maybe you'll be old enough by Friday. Maybe you'll be old enough by Friday, Gage. But, yeah, I will try to do that. Not saying I always can, but we will try to do that. I think that is pretty fun. I think everybody likes to come in when they can and talk and show off stuff like that. I know I've heard that, but that's not going to work. I'm finna get a new phone anyway, so I'm just waiting crazy. But thank you. TNT's been all on me about that. But one, I don't know how to do this stuff. And like I said, I'm just waiting to get a new phone. I'm just waiting for the next one to come out. Should be September something, so we'll do that. My wife is on the patio waiting on me with my dog. So as much fun as I've had with y'all, I'm going to go have more fun with them. But thank you guys. Always come back. Check me out. Be cool to each other. And remember, we are many, but we will be one. And I may be leaving, but I'm still that uncultured heathen.